first summit since Trump's return to office. Now, this meeting is being positioned as a potential breakthrough in the efforts to end the war in Ukraine. Both leaders will meet to discuss the future of the war in Ukraine. Trump has, remember, spent months trying to broker peace between the two countries with multiple rounds of peace talks, phone calls, diplomatic visits, but everything has failed. Notably, Ukraine has not been invited to the summit initially. Now the White House says, though, that it is considering bringing Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to Alaska as well. The Vice President JD Vance confirmed today that the administration is working to arrange a meeting that could include all three leaders. But the question remains, if President Zelensky does travel to Alaska, will he and President Putin actually share the same room? We have breaking updates now, in fact, coming in. Vladimir Putin is all set to meet the U.S. President Donald Trump, and the meet is scheduled for the 15th of August. So there is a breakthrough. That's what the United States has called it, a breakthrough with Putin, calling the meeting a major diplomatic success, crediting Donald Trump for the negotiations. So the Vice President has spoken on this scheduled meeting and has said that this is a major breakthrough for American diplomacy, and has said that it could not have been done if not for the leadership of Donald Trump. Let's go across to Senior Consulting Editor Srinjoy Chaudhary joining us on the broadcast. Good morning, Srinjoy. A lot expected from this meeting, but it is already being hailed as a big victory. What is expected, and all this while Donald Trump has attempted to have a word with Putin or ask him to stop the attacks on Ukraine, it hasn't worked. So tell us why this meeting could be extremely significant and why the Vice President of the United States is already calling it a breakthrough.
During the election campaign, President Trump had said that the war would not have begun if he were president, and he would end it in one day. Well, about 200 days have passed and the war is still going on. But this meeting could be the most consequential meeting of the year, irrespective of what happens, because this is the first time Trump and Putin are meeting. Now, on the agenda is Ukraine, the war in Ukraine. And let's not forget that in these 3 years of fighting, there have been huge casualties, if you include Russian and Ukraine dead and wounded, plus civilian casualties. We are looking at a figure of 1 million and more. Can you imagine 1 million plus casualties, dead and wounded in 3 years of fighting? That's a huge number. The Russians have had more casualties because they've been attacking. They've had almost semi-human wave attacks, which lead to more casualties. So now is an opportunity to talk. Now, importantly, President Zelensky of Ukraine may or may not be there. We don't know as yet. But regardless of what happens between Trump and Putin, Zelensky also has to be in the loop, because his soldiers have been fighting with American weapons, with European weapons. Now we have to see what the solutions are going to be, because the land that has been taken by the Russian forces, about a fourth of Ukraine, plus Crimea some years later, will President Putin agree to give them back? Will President Zelensky say, no, those areas have gone and they are Russian? Now that is really a huge problem. That has to be decided upon. Now whether that happens or not, whether there is a solution or not, we will have to see.
Okay, all right. A lot expected. Let's see what happens. In fact, we are told that Zelensky could also be meeting President Trump. The question is, will all three leaders be meeting together or not? Well, let's shift our attention now to breaking updates now coming in. 6.1 on the Richter scale earthquake. 6.1 earthquake hits Turkey.